The Catfish Festival does just about everything you could think of to celebrate the catfish and the 4th of July. It's a hometown reunion that embraces patriotism, community pride, and the river culture of Shoals, Indiana.
Our town is small, and this is one of the biggest things we have going for us, and people from all over come. And there's just so many things to do, from the parade to the cooking contest, the fishing contest. And one of the neat things, I think, is when the queen kisses the catfish. The biggest catfish is caught. I think that's great.
A lot of people come and plan their vacations during our catfish. It's time for families to get together, and we just have a good time. And a lot of families have their reunions at this time, and we just like it. Small town. Small town.
Wow, you see people at Catfish that you haven't seen since last year at Catfish. Whether it be on Main Street or down at the ballpark or out here on this bridge, just walking by to see who's out here. Yeah, you'll never know who you run into.
I can see that it's a little slice of Americana that is very genuine, whale of a lot of fun. And the local Lions Club, they use the money that they make in this festival to do a lot of good things in our town. So it's just a winner all the way around.
I would say I enjoy coming down and walking around and talking to people I haven't seen for a while. Seeing the big catfish in the catfish tank once the competition's over. Watching the fishermen off the bridge.
People do buy in because there's something for everybody. Everybody has a vested interest in what's good for the community. It's a celebration of the 4th of July. At the same time, it allows people to come home. You'll see a lot of people you haven't seen for years. Relatives will have reunions just based around the festival because that's when everybody is here. It's very important.
Sometimes at the Catfish Festival you see people that you haven't seen in years, kind of like me. Like I came home and people haven't seen me in a long, long time. So it's kind of like a reunion of sorts, like where everybody comes back and sees each other.
The best part of this festival is I get to see people that I haven't seen for 20 years. Everybody comes back to Shoals for the 4th of July, it seems like. This festival, it brings everybody out together. It makes a little income for the community so we can support things like the ballpark and different projects. And it's probably one of the biggest 4th of July festivals in southwest Indiana. But to me, I don't want to be any place else on the 4th of July but here.
Tell me about that first Catfish Festival. How did it come about, and how did it go off?
I think Steve Deckard had a lot to do with it. Steve Deckard and Gene Shaw, and he passed away last year. And he was one of our fine members.
Yeah.
And I think they were walking across the bridge one day, and they kind of thought maybe having some kind of a festival. And everybody fishes off the bridge, and we all think of catfish when we think of shoals. So that's just how it all started.
I named that first year, and the name stuck, and it went over so well with the great Catfish McBait that first year between Frank McCloskey and Rick McIntyre, both very nice gentlemen. Both deceased now, and you know, that helped us get the ball rolling.
The story of the Catfish Festival cannot be told without detailing the involvement of the Shoals News. This weekly newspaper has had only 3 editors in the last 94 years. Sanford Deckard purchased the Shoals News in 1945, and it's been the family's business and life ever since.
Sanford moved here in 1945. He grew up in Bloomington. My mother was a Linotype operator in Bloomington, and my dad ran the Bloomington newspaper for the Bradfute family. Bought this paper and moved here, and one of the things he liked about Shoals was the steam trains that were going by at the time. There's my dad's first issue. New editor. He succeeded Harry Strange, who had published it for the last 28 years.
And he was the first Grand Marshal, is that right?
He was the first Grand Marshal of the parade. One of his friends by the name of Tommy Stone ran the parade then, and they really didn't have a steering committee to select it. Tommy just said, "Sanford, you're it."
Steve Deckard grew up in the newspaper business. He began writing a column at the age of 7 and has been editor of the Shoals News for over 40 years.
I've never moved my father's hats off the hat rack. So that's kind of a memorial to my dad. We're still doing it for him.
Steve's daughter, Audra Petty Deckard, a senior at Shoals High School, began writing her own column called Audra's News at age 9, and Dad is proud to say she has never missed a deadline.
She's had her column in a newspaper for 9 years.
Do you remember your first column?
Kind of. It was really short.
She used to write about me, and I told her to stop doing that.
Stop writing.
Probably about 2 paragraphs.
After high school, she plans to attend college and major in journalism, then come back to Shoals and work at the Shoals News.
Audra ran for Catfish Queen this year. And we're talking about the big queen, the oldest set, and Audra ran for queen this year.
And my dad kind of started a tradition, what's it been, 5 years? About 5 years, where whichever catfish queen wins, she gets the honor of kissing the big catfish. So that's a pretty good deal. So there's a lot of girls who aren't real sure about doing that, but.
And sure, she'd like to win. She's just as happy because she didn't win, but she also really is probably thrilled to death
I
that
didn't win, kind of, because I wouldn't want to kiss that fish.
And I told her that's why I wanted her to win.
During the Catfish Festival, you'll see Steve Deckard snapping photos at every event.
I live upstairs over the newspaper, and I'm going to tell you, I went up there at midnight, 12:30 the last 2 nights, and we worked. In fact, Andrea helped me last night and worked till 12:30 on pictures. And I think this in tomorrow's, we print tomorrow, so we're kind of closed today, and we got the parade today, we got the fireworks tonight, and the Times Mail where we print is closed today. But we've got to print tomorrow anyhow, and we'll get it printed somehow, some way. But we'll only probably get the pictures in the paper through last night, and I'll save today's for next Tuesday because we got to do it justice, and we can't do it that quickly with no more help than there is to do it with. So we'll split it up this year. We've done that sometimes. No other newspaper in Indiana that I know of printed 106 pictures of their festival last year after it was over. 106 pictures, 5 by 7 or larger in the newspaper.
With everybody's caption under it.
With everybody had a cut line, everybody had a name, everybody was identified, and you know, we get people's picture in the paper that wouldn't be in there at any other time for any other reason. But we promote the Catfish Festival, and our slogan is, nobody serves catfish better. You can get catfish in a lot of places in Shoals, but nobody serves catfish better than the Shoals News. You know, I don't fish, I don't hunt, I don't bowl, I don't swim. I don't do much of anything besides work, so I don't have any hobbies, but I can tell you that, that in my day I've sure taken a lot of catfish pictures. And we promote that all summer long or all fall long, just like we do the deer and the turkeys and whatever else somebody happens to bring in.
Though he was instrumental in getting the Catfish Festival started and works to sustain and promote the festival as much as anyone, Steve is reluctant to call attention to himself when it comes to the Catfish Festival. But last year he made an exception and agreed to be co-Grand Marshal with his longtime Catfish Festival partner, Gene Shaw.
Every year we nominate several people for Grand Marshal, and I never wanted to be the Grand Marshal, so we both wanted somebody else in the community to be honored other than us. And Gene was ill last year. He had some cancer issues in his spine and was taking treatments, and he, you know, maybe he had a premonition because somebody said, you two guys need to do it. It's been 25 years, and Gene just, I said, I won't do it without Gene. Gene said he wouldn't do it without me. They went and asked Gene, and Gene said, yeah, I'll do it. And you know, looking back, I mean, within a month after the Catfish Festival, after we did it, you know, Gene was dead. And maybe it was a premonition, but he always told me that was one of the happiest days of his life, was being in the parade. You know, we got a lot of good people here. I mean, we got so many good people. We've had 26 years of Grand Marshals. A lot of years it's just one person. A few times it's been 2 people. And there's always been somebody nominated that, you know, we just, it's kind of a secret ballot on a 2-inch square piece of paper. Who do you want to vote for? And it may take 6 times to reach a verdict. But, You know, we've honored so many good people, and there's so many more yet to honor.
The climax of nearly every 4th of July celebration is the fireworks. And the Catfish Festival's traditional fireworks display has quite a story.
Our system is accountable, and everybody who donates gets their name in the paper on the front page of the Shoals News. But we really don't do it to give them publicity, we do it to be accountable. And so there's no question about how much money is raised or how much money is spent. You can add it up yourself. When we turn the money into the Lions Club, Lions Club turns the money into the town of Shoals. And we order the fireworks, and we've got a handshake deal with a fireworks guy that Donnie Ikes from Circle City Pyrotechnics, and he has 24 shows this weekend. And guess where he's going to be tonight? Out of 24 shows, the guy that owns the company is going to be in the cornfield shooting the Shoals show. $10,280.
Tell me a little bit about your involvement here with the Shoals Catfish Festival. How'd you get involved with these people, and what are they like?
I wouldn't trade them for nobody. They're real good to me. Or the saying goes, you treat each other right. And me and Steve have been kind of what you call hand to hand ever since we got here. I just love doing it and love blowing the sky up and keeping everybody happy.
Blowing the sky up and keeping people happy.
You got it.
All right, that should be your motto.
Yeah, it should be. The big thing when we got here, we had to come in here and level out corn, farmers' corn. And then we got in here, we kind of set back and say, okay, we're going to what shells go where, figure out what the layout's going to be.
And so what kind of show you got planned tonight for us?
It's going to be a little kicky one.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I try to make a kick here, and I love it. When we get done, I love getting the yells and horn honking, and that's what makes your day. Once you see that light, back away. All the way. Right. Let me go on the other side. Okay. When you do this, you gotta make a choice. Set them off or watch. You cannot do them both.
And what about timing, and how long is the display going to last?
This one should last about anywhere from 20 minutes to a half hour, up to the weather and how we want to set them off.
Yeah. And are you looking at the weather to see what the weather's going to be?
I've been watching it, and they're saying it's 20% chance of rain, but so far, let me do this. Knock on wood, we ain't getting wet yet.
Yeah. So did you have a display going on last night?
Yeah, we had one going last night, got canceled.
Yeah.
Over in Boonville. We got to go tomorrow and do it. And we got a show over right now being set up at Holiday Work.
Okay. Busy time for you.
Oh yeah. Then we got one in Greenfield. We got one over a private party at Arlington and Southport Road. We got one in Brooklyn. We got one in Brownsburg. A little bit everywhere.
So do you wish every day was the 4th of July?
No. That's, I think, why I don't have any hair, because it's stress, really.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. In theater, they say break a leg. What do they say in fireworks?
Hey, they don't say nothing, just if you see me running, you better try to keep up.
The Catfish Festival helps bring the Shoals community together. This 3 to 4 day 4th of July celebration creates a wonderful sense of community pride that helps sustain the town of Shoals year-round. Friends and families come home for reunions that celebrate the past, but what the Catfish Festival does to get Shoals looking to the future is what makes this festival really exciting. It offers a glimpse of a simple but rich lifestyle seeped in the river culture of a beautiful countryside, and it provides a welcome mat for folks to come to town and stay a while, come back often, and maybe even call it home.
Maybe we need to promote ourselves more, but we're limited to how much we can promote ourselves because we're in a floodplain. So we can't grow, okay? We're in a floodplain, we can't grow. But maybe we're just as well off. We don't have a lot of things that cities have, but maybe that's a good thing. The cities have a lot of things that we don't want.